back to the channel. Today we're going to be continuing the build of the RB19 from DeAgostini Collectibles. So today we're going to be doing stages 9 through to 14, and I think this is mainly the engine section, so it should be really exciting, really good build, probably quite technical, but let's go for it. Right guys, so we're going to start on the engine build of the RB19. So stage 9.1 is to take the ignition coils and attach these into the side of the engine head. So we're going to pop those into there, pop the second one in, and then pop the third one in. So they just push fit in. They are slightly raised at the moment until we screw them in, so don't worry too much about that. Then what you want to do is flip the engine head over. Obviously one falls out. This is always the way. And what we want to do is, step 9.2, we want to flip it over and we want to use some F screws to attach them. So I might just get an F screw ready, because as soon as I flip it over, one of them will fall out, if not all of them. So I'll try and hold them all in, but it's going to be a bit problematic. So we will start screwing in the first one. There we go. Then we'll do the second one. Should I tell you what? I'll just get it on the screwdriver. Oh, and now I've lost the alignment, so we'll just pop it back in. Awesome, right, and then we'll pop the third one back in. Might have been more effective to glue these really, to be honest. As you can see, they're quite fiddly. Perfect. So we've got 3 ignition coils screwed into the cylinder head, and we're ready to move on to 9.3. So continuing into step 9.3, we want to take this section here that we've previously sort of outlined, which was 9E, and we want to lay this section over. So you can see on the back it's got a few attachments. It just slots in here and slots in at the bottom and at the top, there and there, and we'll just push it in. So that's just to kind of push fit that one. When we go over to the back, step 9.4 says attach one of the sides using a G screw. So to be honest, from looking at the diagram, it looks like it's the one with the triangle shape end. So we will go with the same one, again, using a G screw. So I'll just get a G screw and pop a G screw in that end. Perfect. Then we can move on to 9.5. So 9.5, it looks like we put the cylinder head back over into that position, and we take part 9C, and this should just push in, I believe, into here. It looks like. I'm not sure if I've got the alignment right there, guys, to be honest. Let's flip it the other way. That looks much better. And we will push fit it that way, I think. Yeah, we'll just click it in. There we go, awesome. So that is 9.5 completed. Then moving on to 9.6. So 9.6, we want to fit the nice alloy part that we've got here as well, cylinder block, into this whole section of what we've done so far. So for this, I'm just checking the orientation of what we should do here. We want to find these 2 holes here, and we want to sit the block that we've just done with this piece facing downwards into that section, like such. There we go, awesome. So you can start to see the engine taking shape. Then if we move over to 9.7, what we want to do is actually attach these 2 parts using H screws. So there's actually 3 attachments to be made here. You've got 1, 2 and 3. So we'll take the H screws, put in the 2 big ones I think first. Got 1, 2, and the last one, 3. Perfect. So what we should have now is 1, 2, 3, and that is the start of our cylinder block and cylinder head with the ignition coils all attached and ready to move on with the build in stage 10. Right guys, so for stage 10 we're going to be building the left hand side of the engine block. So we're going to take the cylinder head and we're going to pop in the ignition coils on this one as well, same as what we did in the last stage. So, and then we're going to take some F-type screws and put these through. So I'll take the first one, put the first one in, and I think I'll do these one by one because last time it was really impossible to hold all of them in at the same time. And they're really quite fiddly because they don't push fully in. So they're still kind of raised on the outside, so they're a bit fiddly to hold while you're screwing them in, to be honest. But we will screw those in. Oh, got 2 screws there. Only wanted 1. And we put our final one in and screw that in. Awesome, so we've got 3 screws now holding in our ignition coil. So that's step 10.1 and 10.2. So for 10.3, we want to, I think from the look of the design, I think we'll keep the engine block as it is for now, but I'm debating whether it goes the other way, to be honest. But for now, we'll keep it that way, and we'll just place over section 10E onto the top of the engine block and clip that in like so. It's just a push fit part at the moment, I think, or we will screw it in shortly. And then we need to flick the engine over. And again, from the triangle section here, we're going to screw in that side first with a G screw. So we'll go ahead and do that. Perfect, so that one's done. So that part is nice and secure now. And then we're going to do very similar again to what we did in the last section. I think now that is the orientation we need. And then we're going to take this section, which is at 10D, and we're going to push fit that part in to these 2 holes on the top, if you can see them there. So for that, we are just going to lay them up, get the position correct, and then we can push fit them in here. It's not the most comfortable because it's got all the connections there. I think for some hoses, clip that one in and clip that one in. And then we've got our side piece attached there. Awesome. So that's 10.5 done. 10.6, similar to the last section, we're going to take the cylinder head, and the orientation looks slightly different on this one, to be honest. So I think we're going to take it that way this time. And then we're going to lay this section on top with this large piece coming towards me or towards the colour section, and we're going to lay it on top like so. Again, for certainty, you can actually look at the outline of the die-cast part, actually, to be honest, and you can see how it actually lays up. So that's 10.6 is laying it up, and 10.7 is actually to screw it in. So again, on the bottom, you've got 3 screws. You've got H, H, and H. H on the other side. So we'll go ahead and start laying those ones in, and then that part will be attached. And then we should have 2 sections of cylinder head, which would be awesome. So we're really kind of getting there now with the build. And it's nice to be doing something other than wishbones and linkages because that is very fiddly, to be honest. And then the final one goes in here. have it. We have our other side of the engine block. So that is 10 completed. Right guys, so what we're going to do this time is we're going to take our pieces of the engine that we've built in the last few sections and we're going to attach them to the central cylinder block. So for this, what we want to do is, you can see the holes on either side of the central block should align with these holes on each section. So what we're going to do is take in step 11.1, we're going to align them. So we're going to take this section and lay it over that, and we're going to lay the other one over the other holes there. So we should get an alignment that looks something like that. Then what we want to do in step 11.2, we want to take some eye screws and start attaching these sections together. So I will just do that. Start driving these down here. What I'm going to do actually, I'm just going to place them in for now and then tighten them up as we go along, because I know that we've got to do the other side in step 11.3. So I'll just place the other ones in gently, and then if I can get them in, and then I can tighten them up in a second. I think I'll probably need a bit of a bigger screwdriver, to be honest, for this one. So I will swap to this screwdriver and just lay these up. Quite difficult to actually see the alignment of the parts when they're all black, to be honest. That one does not really want to go in for some reason. So let's just check the alignment on that. Doesn't really seem to be hitting where it should. So I'll just force that into position. And I might put the other one in first, in fact. Yeah, the other one's gone in nicely. So we will then drive the other one in, which hopefully now will align. Looks good. We will soon find out. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So that one goes in nicely now, but I will just double check that they're all snug. And on the other side the same. Bit of an awkward thing to hold, to be honest, in its current state. There we go, perfect. Right, so then we've got our section together in terms of the central block, and then we move on. I think actually I could probably tighten that a bit more, that one. So I might do that. Right guys, so I've just tightened those screws up so that I've got no movement and no play in this block at all now, which is what I want. So then we move on to 11.4. For 11.4, I'll briefly show you that actually these parts do have a way that they go. So you can see that there's actually a flat side on the bottom, and then if you look at the engine block, you can actually see there's a flat side on the top there as well. So they do actually go in a particular way. So 11.4 tells you to put them in on the left side of the engine, which, if my memory serves me correctly, is this side with these attachment hoses. So we will just go ahead and pop those in here, or at least attempt to, which I can see on these ones are flat on the bottom. So I'll try and get the alignment correct on these. Bit tricky, guys, to be honest. We'll just push them in, so they should face downwards on this side. Do question whether I should do this with tweezers, but I think it's a little bit easier actually by hand. They are absolutely tiny, so they're not the easiest things to handle. Oh, as you can see. There we go. Awesome. So then we've got our spark plug covers in on the left hand side, and 11.5 will tell me to do the same on the right hand side. we'll go ahead and do that. That's 1, 2, 3. Just make sure they're all pushed in fully. And that is our completed assembly stage for 11. Right guys, so for stage 12, what we're going to do, we're going to take 12F and 12B, and we're basically going to put the turbo shaft together. So this top section is going to go onto the bottom of the shaft. That will just click into place. 12.2 is just to take the engine build that we've done in the previous sections and place this section into that build, like so. And then as we flip it over in 12.3, we just want to put a H screw into the bottom of the turbo shaft just to keep it attached. And that is all for stage 12. And we move on with the build, and we keep all the other parts of the turbo together so that we can then carry on with that in the next section. Right guys, welcome back to stage 13. So for stage 13, what we're going to do is we're going to start putting in these manifold pipes into the intake. So what you will see actually on the back of this, these are actually numbered. So number 1 is on the left there. So we can actually see step 13.1. We're going to take this section, which is 13C, and we can see a tiny little 1 on the back of it. And we're going to place that into there. And we will take a J screw and just pop a J screw in there as well to secure it. And at the moment it looks like these pipes go straight down, so I'll try and keep them as kind of straight down as I can at the moment. Might be an idea to leave a little bit of play in them, but for now I'll do them as tight as I can. Step 13.2, you want to take 13B and do the same thing on the other side, which has got a 6 on it. So we're looking for one with a 6. So it might be this one. No, it is it this one? Yes, sorry, it's the other one, the mirror image of that one, which makes sense. Probably should have guessed as much. So for that one again, we're going to take another J screw and put it in. I always seem to get 2 screws, not 1. So let's do that. Cool, so we've got 2 sections in there already, which looks like that so far. So step 13.3, we're going to take 13F and 13D, which is part 5 and 3. So you can see on this side, we've got 3 is further down here. So if we look for a 3, which I think is this one, that one's 2. This one is 3, so 3 is on this side, on the right hand side. So I'll put 3 and 3. Should just slot in there. That one just pushes in actually. And the other one was 5, I think. Yep. So 5, I think, is this one. Almost looks like a 3 with my bad eyes, but yeah, that's a 5. So this one goes in here, just above 3. So again, we'll push that one in, if I can. There we go, awesome, cool. So far we've got that. And then the other ones that we need to match up for 13.4 is 13G and 13E. So again, we've got, this one is number 2, so that goes on the bottom. And this one is number 4, which goes in number 4. So we have got them all in the right place, which is good. If I can get that one in, which is a bit tight. There we go. That one was a bit tight. Awesome, so that is what our manifold looks like so far. Awesome, so what we're going to do now in 13.5 is we're going to retrieve the central engine block that we were working on earlier, and we're going to marry up these parts. So what we want to do here really, we want to link these pipe sections into the actual head of the engine. So it's going to be a little bit fiddly, but we will try and get all of them in there. So bear with me while I try and do this. I'm just going to check that we've got the alignment correct. Yes, we have. So this is going to be a little bit fiddly. So we'll get the first two in first. So that's one there, one there. How I'm going to do the rest is a little bit uncertain at the moment. Try and get the other ones in. So really it's just a process of kind of wriggling the manifold around until the centre ones are aligned. So I've got 1, 2, 3 of them in so far. I'm not sure about the middle ones. It's really hard to sort of see whether they're in or not. But I think if I can get the other ones in, hopefully they will just align. So let's try and get that one in. Yeah, I don't think those middle ones are going in though, to be honest. So bear with me while I probably pull it out and realign them. Very hard to see what direction they're missing in though, to be honest, so it's quite a tough fit. So they all want to be in line, so I would say they probably, that one looks almost in line, but this one is quite out of alignment, so that one probably wants to be more like that. So let's try and fit it that way. This is quite fiddly, to be honest, guys. But we like a challenge. That's why we do it, because it's not easy. Right, bear with me. I'm going to have another stab at that. Right, guys, so I've rechecked my alignment now. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4 sections in there, which is perfect. And then for 13.6, what we want to do is we want to take 2 J screws and drive them into these centre pieces. So I will just do that now. And that attaches the part. And there we have it. We have got our manifold cover and pipes attached. And that is the engine assembly so far. Looking quite good. Right, guys, now we move on to step 14, where we're going to put the airbox onto the car. Really nice looking airbox, to be honest. Really nice looking part. So 14.1, we take 14A, which is the actual airbox, and we'll place it onto the section that we did in the last episode. We'll just place it on top. Then what we want to do is we want to take 2 H screws, which we received with this package, and we want to drive those in to the 2 protruding holes further down. So we'll do that here. So we'll take the other one, pop that in there as well. Quite hard to see where they are. Obviously you don't want to drop the screw because then it'll be hard to get it. Not sure if that is, yeah, that's fixed, that's awesome. So you can just about see down there. So then what we want to do is, so that's 14.1 and 14.2. 14.3, you just want to take these cover caps and then pop them in at the top. They do have a way of fitting. You can see the little nodule at the top. So I will try and slot them in like so. And the same on this one, like so. Awesome. So that is our engine assembly so far. Looking really, really nice. So really looking forward to completing the build. I know that actually the engine cover detaches and you can actually see the engine, so it will be an exposed part. So in light of that, obviously you want to get the details looking correct and the fitment looking correct on that. So there we have it. So guys, there we have it. We have completed stages 9 to 14 for the RB19 build. Really good, enjoyable section. We've got the engine now, we've got the airbox on top, got the coils, and we've got the engine block on the bottom. So this will be a really nice piece. It will be an exposed piece. I think the actual engine cover comes off, and we can see this once the model is finalised. So that's it for this stage, or this package as such. So join me back for another video coming soon. If you're really enjoying the content, then give me a thumbs up, like and subscribe. As I said previously, I do have a lot of plans for the channel. I've got my personal collection to show you guys as well. I've got some really nice pieces in the personal collection, 18th scale, 43, 64, etc. And some really nice quarter scale motorbikes that I want to show you as well. So yeah, if you're enjoying it, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again for another video.